The ignorance of the modern Democrat Party is reaching comedy gold levels, and it's happening in real time. Folks, you seriously can't make this up. Democrats are so desperate to win back male voters that they just dropped a whopping $20 million on a consulting firm. Not to improve their policies, not to go out and connect with real men on the ground, but to research why men don't like them. Let that sink in. Instead of walking into a working-class bar and talking to actual dudes, they're holed up in Manhattan high-rises, sipping overpriced lattes, trying to decode the mystery of masculinity like it's an alien life form. Instead of listening, they're commissioning what might be the most clueless strategy ever. Sam, speaking to American men, basically a $20 million buzzword salad to figure out how to talk to half the country. You can't help but laugh. They're paying people to figure out what a plumber in Pittsburgh or a welder in Wyoming thinks about politics, when the answer is right in front of them. Men, don't vote for people who openly hate them. Let me spell it out for them. For free. 1. Men don't vote Democrat because the Democrat Party hates men. Masculinity is treated like a crime. Ambition, aggression, drive, strength, all labeled toxic. Democrats don't want men to lead. They want them to sit down, shut up, and wear a cardigan while apologizing for everything. 2. Your policies are insane. You push the idea that men can become women and expect everyone to clap. Sorry, but most men don't enjoy being forced to ignore biology and pretend fantasy is fact. That might work for Twitter activists, but real men? Nah. 3. You blame men for everything. In your narrative, men are the villains. Straight men? Double villains. White men? Triple. Every problem in the world, from climate change to student loans, is apparently our fault. And just when you think they couldn't be more tone deaf, their plan to win men over on abortion is, get this, real men protect women, so you should support abortion. That's not empathy. That's manipulation. They're saying, if you don't support killing your unborn child, you're not a real man. Maybe, just maybe, real men don't want to kill babies. Maybe we believe in responsibility, protection, family, and shockingly, truth. But nope. Instead of embracing men as protectors and providers, the left's game is to attract the softest, most passive versions of manhood imaginable. Their ideal voter is someone who plays video games all day, has no job, no goals, and wants the government to tuck them in at night. Democrats want to build a society where ambition is selfish, hard work is privilege, and success is oppressive. Meanwhile, Republicans say, you hustle, you grind, you build, and you can have the life you dream about. That is why men are flocking to the right. And here's where it gets hilarious. This $20 million Democrat project, get this, wants to study male syntax and buy ads inside video games to seem relatable. That's their genius plan. They're going to try to win over guys by sticking Planned Parenthood ads inside Call of Duty. Genius. The entire Democratic brain trust has become a live-action parody. Here's a taste from the New York Times, who broke the story. The article literally says Democrat donors are meeting in luxury hotels to discuss how to win back the working class. Imagine the irony. A bunch of rich elites in $1,000 suits try to understand why truck drivers don't like being called bigots. And then comes this gem. The strategy memo warns that the Democrat Party must shift away from a moralizing tone. Hilarious. That's all you've got. The entire left-wing message is one big sermon. Every speech sounds like a college professor scolding America for existing. Look, guys don't need you to wear a flannel and awkwardly drop into a Fortnite server to understand us. Just listen. Men want to build, protect, succeed, and lead. Stop insulting that. Until the Democrats stop demonizing men and start respecting what makes us who we are, they can spend all the money they want. The results won't change. The embarrassing ignorance of these elitist, out-of-touch Democrats just keeps reaching new heights. And folks, this time, they've outdone themselves in the most hilariously painful way possible. They're dropping $20 million, yes, $20 million, to hire a consulting firm to figure out how to talk to men. You heard me right. Instead of actually talking to men, they're treating us like some uncontacted tribe from the Amazon. These overly educated, latte-sipping, New York Times reading experts are holed up in luxury hotels trying to understand the mystical behaviors of the male species. Why aren't men voting Democrat? Why? Oh, why do these men not want to vote for a party that trashes masculinity at every turn? What could possibly be the problem? Oh, I don't know. Maybe the fact that the Democrat Party treats masculinity like a disease and sees every man as a potential oppressor. Maybe that's it. And just to make sure you're not missing any of this insanity, hit that like button, smash the subscribe, and ring that bell because this rabbit hole just keeps going. Now let me paint the picture. Democrats are literally hiring cultural anthropologists to study the wild and elusive American man. I'm not kidding. They're investing in research to analyze syntax, language virality, and they even recommend putting ads inside video games. Because apparently, that's how you talk to us now. They think the problem is in how they're saying it, not what they're saying. Meanwhile, MSNBC is trying to sound an alarm and say, guys, this is all kind of dumb. And even they admit this whole thing is likely to be a huge failure. Why? Because Democrats don't want to live in the same reality as the rest of us. They don't want to actually meet regular people where they are. They want to observe us from their ivory towers and write reports like we're lab rats. And let's not forget who they're putting in charge of figuring this out. People so disconnected from a male experience that it's almost satire. One woman that no guy is interested in, and one man that no guy wants to be. You couldn't cast this more perfectly if it were an SNL sketch. Here's the truth. The reason young men are drifting to the right is not because of slang. It's not because of TikTok dances. It's because Democrats keep insulting them. They hate strength. They hate ambition. They're obsessed with pushing policies that say men can become women. And if you disagree, you're a bigot. That doesn't fly with normal guys. Men like reality. Men like truth. And they really don't like being told to shut up and sit down while their entire identity is vilified. Oh, and here's the kicker. When they talk about abortion, their pitch to men is, hey, if you don't support this, you'll actually have to be responsible for your child. That's the play. Be pro-choice so you don't have to be a dad. As if the average dude's biggest goal in life is to avoid responsibility. That says a lot more about them than it does about us. And let's be real, this isn't about connecting with men. This is about connecting with feminine, passive, docile men who already agree with them. The rest? We're just the problem. Let's talk about what real men want. Men want to build. Men want to protect. Men want to win. They don't want the government to be their mommy. They want freedom to achieve, to provide, to earn, and they gravitate toward the side that lets them do that. And guess who embodies that? Donald Trump. The guy doesn't change his language for anyone. He's brash. He's rich. He's got a beautiful wife. And you know what? Men respect that. Men are sick of walking on eggshells. We're done with cancel culture. We're done with being told we're oppressors just for being men. That kind of condescending finger wagging is what finally broke Jake Tapper. Imagine this. Jake Tapper's 15-year-old son, a kid with no political agenda, just wants to play linebacker and maybe be a cop one day. That's it. That's his crime. And he got roasted online, dragged, accused of racism, simply for saying he wants to protect people. This is why Democrats are losing. This is why young men are walking away. And instead of changing their message or reflecting on their values, the Democrats are throwing $20 million at a consulting firm to figure out why the magic spell isn't working. Even CNN couldn't help but laugh. One of their anchors basically said, duh. You should have seen this coming multiple election cycles ago. And now all they have is hope, not a strategy, not a plan. Just hope that voters will get scared of Trump again and come crawling back. That's not a campaign. That's wishful thinking. So now we got this bizarre reality where a billionaire consulting firm is trying to teach politicians how to speak man. Spoiler alert, it's not working. The truth is simple. Men aren't buying what Democrats are selling because Democrats tell men they're the root of all evil. It's that straightforward. And if they want men back, they're going to need to change everything, not just slap a trendy slogan on a TikTok ad. But we all know they won't. because changing their platform would mean giving up control, and there's a 0% chance they ever do that. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are the Democrats really this clueless, or are they just pretending so they don't have to admit they're wrong? As always, smash that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure those notification bells are on, because you're not going to want to miss what's coming next.